I think we've been taught that femininity looks a certain way, but in 2026, femininity looks very different than it did a few years ago. And if you feel disconnected from your femininity lately, I want you to know you are not broken. You're just evolved. What is up, you guys? My name is Marissa Linnell. On the channel, we talk a lot about everything, okay? Motherhood, femininity, personal development. If any of those things interest you, please be sure to hit the subscribe button. A lot of the femininity advice that we grew up with was about appearance, aesthetics, or just being perceived a certain way. But in 2026, femininity is quieter, it's deeper, and it's a lot more embodied. This video is for the women who don't feel like their old selves, but also know that they are not meant to go backwards. Let's talk about it. Okay, so first things first, femininity starts with regulation, not appearance. One of the biggest shifts I've seen is this. Femininity does not begin with how you look. It begins with how regulated your nervous system is. You can have the outfit, the hair, the routine, but if your body is constantly in survival mode, softness is going to be hard to access. In 2026, feeling feminine looks like slowing your mornings down, lowering the volume of your life, and creating pockets of calm, not doing more. The calmer you feel in your body, the more feminine you naturally become. Okay, next point is softness isn't something you either have or don't have. Softness is a skill, especially in a world that constantly asks you to harden. So many women became strong because they had to, not because they actually wanted to. In this season, femininity is learning how to soften without abandoning your standards, your boundaries, your self-respect. Soft doesn't mean weak. Soft means grounded. Okay, next tip is realizing that tiny daily rituals bring femininity back online. Femininity thrives in moments, not in grand gestures, no matter what one may think, okay? It is the small rituals that belong only to you. A quiet coffee in the morning, getting dressed with intention, even if you are staying home, taking care of your body without rushing through it. Every time you rush, or you criticize yourself, or ignore your needs, you disconnect from your feminine energy. Every time you slow down and tend to yourself, you reconnect to your feminine energy. Femininity only returns when you stop abandoning yourself throughout the day. Okay, next is redefine what femininity looks like now. One of the most feminine things you can do for yourself in 2026 is release what you think you're supposed to be, or who you think you're supposed to be. Your femininity doesn't need to look like your 20s. It doesn't need to match anyone else's season. Femininity is allowed to mature, to deepen, to change shape. For some of us, life added responsibilities that we didn't have before, like motherhood or a marriage season. None of that makes you less feminine. It makes you layered. If you are in those seasons, your femininity did not disappear. It just evolved. Okay, next tip to understand is presence is the new glow up. In 2026, your presence is magnetic. Being feminine isn't about being the loudest or the busiest or even the most visible. It's about being here, being present. Slower speech, intentional conversations, intentional choices, fully listening when someone talks to you is being present. The women who feel the most feminine are not chasing, okay? These women are actually rooted. Okay, your next tip is stop performing femininity. Femininity isn't a performance, okay? Here is something that we do not talk about enough. Performing femininity is actually exhausting. If your softness only shows up when you are being perceived, approved of, or validated, it's not really yours. It's an act. True femininity is how you treat yourself when no one else is watching, how you speak to yourself, how you honor your boundaries. So in 2026, let's stop performing the feminine energy. It's not a performance, it's an internal state. Okay, next tip is femininity thrives in safety. And this may be the most important tip yet. Femininity blooms when you feel emotionally, mentally, and physically safe. This means soft relationships, clear boundaries, and environments where you are not constantly on the edge. You don't become more feminine by forcing. You become more feminine when your body finally feels safe enough to soften. Listen, if you felt disconnected from your femininity, I hope this video reminds you you're not late and you are not behind. You're just in a more grounded version of yourself. And in 2026, that is the most feminine place you can be. If this resonated with you, please let me know in the comments below what season of life you are in right now. And if you want more big sis femininity conversations like this, I would love for you to subscribe to my channel because I see that the tips are needed. So this is a good starting point for us. A good starting point for us talking about femininity in 2026. Thank you so much for tuning into today's video. I truly do appreciate you guys. Please be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. And until next time, smooches.
Baby, you don't know what you do to me. Between me and you, I feel like chemistry.